All right, I won't be long. Again, TW Dawson, CCO, co-founder of Punk Panda, and I just want to share with you guys some ideas, some thoughts. All right. Again, I don't know why you're here. There's about 60 people on this call tonight. I don't know why you're here. I don't know if you're here because you're excited about the opportunity. I don't know if you're here because you're just trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if you're here because you're into crypto. I don't know if you're here because you're part of an organization that's into network marketing, multi-level marketing. But I do know that for you to take your time on a Sunday evening at about 9 o'clock to be listening to me, that you want something, right? And that something that you want is probably something that you haven't been able to achieve up until now. So hopefully I can say something to you tonight based on my experience in my 40 plus years of, well, not 40 plus years of business, but in my 30 plus years of business. I can share a couple of things with you, a couple of thoughts that were going on in my head that can maybe help you move forward and get closer to whatever it is that you want. Some people up here, they want financial freedom. Some people want to bring their wife home. Some people want a new car. Some people want to get out of debt. Some people just want to be happy, and some people just want to figure out what the heck is going on in this world and live a life that's peaceful. I can't say Punk Panda is going to be the savior of all those things, but I will say this right here. Your situation will change when you change. And in order to change, you have to change your mind, all right? You have to have a certain mentality. And that mentality is very, very, very important. So what I want to do is ask a couple questions to you, all right? What is your superpower? Because everybody has one. What is it that you can do that nobody can do like you can do? What is that? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. That's the question that you have to find the answer to somehow, some way. You have to find that because we're talking about Punk Panda. We're talking about a community that we're trying to build. And some people are having great success building this community. Some people are growing by thousands a day. Others, not so much. And some people are asking questions like, how, what can I do? And I remember on the Telegram, Marco from, I think Digital Lines, he's like, I'm growing by such and such and such. He has all these coins in his, and somebody's like, what are you doing? And they ask the question. Well, guess what? He did it already. It's not what is he doing, it's what he did. He found some things out about himself. He found out what his superpower was. And if you don't have a superpower, if you don't know you have one. You just got to figure it out. But the only way you're going to find it out is by looking for it, by seeking it. All right. And so this is the thing. There's a lot of people that are not successful, and we wonder why. Some people make it, some people don't, right? So we say, well, is it education? Well, then we look at it. In my country, and I don't know how many people here from a different country, but in the USA, we'll just say 90% of the people in the United States go to high school and graduate, right? There's not many people that don't graduate from high school. And out of that 90% that graduate, there's still a large number of people who don't succeed, who are not successful. And then you have another percentage that goes to college. And then if you look at the people who graduate from college, a lot of those people are not successful, right? So then that way we would think that it's not necessarily the education, that the formal education that makes you successful. Is what you do after that. I've heard a quote a long time ago. It says, a formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. That's important because what they teach you in school will get you enough information that you can make a living. All right. I see a hand up. Well, give me a second. We're going to do question and answers once I'm done with this. All right. So that formal education can make you a good living, but most people are not able to succeed at a high level with that education. It requires a certain amount of discipline that only comes when you're out of school, and it doesn't depend on whether this teacher or the professor is gonna mark you wrong or not. That doesn't matter. So again, I want to talk about a few things. I got some things written down here and I want to talk about them. And these are some of the things that I found out that's why people are not successful. And let me give you a backstory. I took a trip to New Jersey to go work out at a gym the other day. And on the way back, gentleman that was with me showed me his bank account, and he was like, yo, this is all I got, bro. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know this and that. And I wanted to say something to him. I wanted to help him. I wanted to show him, like, but it was just too complicated for me to really just say, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because if you were willing to do it, you've done it already. You gotta know what to do, but then not only know what to do, you gotta go do it. So I want to just pinpoint a couple of things that these are the reasons why people are not successful. This is where this comes from. Because I'm thinking to myself, what can I tell this man? He really showing me his bank account and there's really nothing in it. This is all he had. And he's at the age that he can really make things happen, but he hasn't. So what is the issue? Number one, most people underestimate where they are in their path. What do I mean by that? I mean that this is a path, this is a journey. Success is a journey. And some people underestimate where they actually are in that journey. Some people think they're closer than they are. And what they do is they settle and they're wanting success to reach them. You have to run towards success. You have to be actively moving towards the end goal. And most people don't do that. Most people sit back. Most people chill out. Most people don't really go for it, right? That's number one. Number two, you haven't built a team or a system to speed success up. That's important as well. You have to build a team for success because guess what? You're good at something, but you're not good at everything. You need other people a part of your team that are just as good at things that you're not good at. Or you need a system that'll allow you to speed or expedite the process of success up. Again, Panda could be that for you. It could be the thing that you need to expedite your success, okay? Number three, you're not hanging out with the right people. Oh my God, I've heard this a long time ago. You're hanging around dogs, you get fleas, you're hanging around garbage, you smell like trash. You are who your association is. You are the sum total of the books you read and the people you associate with. You need new friends. Again, the people that's telling you you can't do it, the people that's saying that you don't need to do it, the people that's saying that don't take on that, the people that say why you worried about this, those are the people you need to get away from. I'm talking about me. I had to get away from a lot of people that I love in order to be the person that I am today. I just had to. And some of those people feel some kind of way, but guess what? I don't feel some kind of way because I'm happy with who I am. And you have to know that if there is something in this world that you want, you have to want it bad enough than somebody not wanting you to have it. All right, that's important. You gotta want it. And those relationships, if they don't want it for you, they're not really your friends. All right. So the right people, you got to be around the right people. You can't just be around broke people. And I don't want to call them broke and call people names, but at the same time, there's a difference between mentality-wise broke and successful-minded people, right? You want to be around successful people, right? You haven't mastered your goals. You haven't written them down. You don't know what they are. You can't hit a target that you don't see. You have to write your goals down. You have to organize them. You have to put a time on it. You have to know what you want, know what you're willing to give up to get it, and know when you want to get it. If you haven't done that, you can't even think about being successful in anything, all right? That's number one. You're not focused. Again, target. You can never hit a target that you can't see. You have to know exactly what you want. You got to know what the dollar amount is. You got to know what it looks like. You got to know what it feels like. You got to know what it tastes like. If financial freedom is what you want, you got to know what financial freedom is. You can't just say it. You got to know what it means. You got to know that if financial freedom for you means sitting on an island drinking tequila or whatever it is that you drink, you got to know what financial freedom means to you. If you say you want your wife to come home, you got to know what that looks like. You got to know, like, look, there's a time limit on this. I'm bringing her home this time. If you want peace, you got to know what that is. You have to know what it is that you're looking for. If you don't, you will not get it. You can't hit a target that you can't see. All right. You're not in physical proximity of success. That's important as well. Some people got to move out of the area that they're in. You got to get around successful people. You got to get in the mix. You got to rub elbows and bump shoulders with people that have different mentalities, different mindsets, different ideas, different concepts. Look, this thing don't happen. Let me just say this right here. I can go into detail about each one of these because these are all personal stuff that I had to do, right? But one thing's for sure, you're going to have to fail several times. And I'm not talking about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm talking about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times in order to really get to the point where you find something that you're really good at that you can really succeed in. And the only way to do that is if you're around the right people or in the mix at the table, as I say all the time. You got to be in the mix. And if you're not, if you're still walking around in a circle with the people, the employee mentality, or you're walking around in a circle with the people that's the lack mentality, if you're still in those circles, then guess what? It is almost impossible for you to be successful in anything. All right. This is a tough one. And this is something I had to learn along the way. I'll just say this before I tell you this. I'm 46 years old. And I've been at this thing since I was 18, 17, 16, 15 years old, be honest with you. And there was so many times I was so close. So many times that I was right there. There was so many times that it was coming, and then guess what? The next one is, you are not yet the person worthy of success. Wow. I'm gonna hold that one for you just for a second. Yeah, that's what it is. Sometimes people are just not worthy of the person. You're not the person yet. I had to grow into the person that I am in order to receive the success or the blessings that were waiting for me, but I just wasn't that person yet. I wasn't disciplined enough. I wasn't focused enough. I wasn't around the right people. I haven't educated myself. I didn't do any of the things, but I was expecting to get something that I did not earn. We don't get what we want in this world or in this life. We only get what we earn, right? Period. Simple as that. We don't get what we want, we get what we earn. All right, you got to become that person, and that's a whole nother. That's a sermon actually, but we're gonna leave that for another time. You don't expose yourself to enough inspiration. Again, this stuff is all tying in. These are the things that I had to do. You have to be around inspiration. Why? What are you talking about, TW? Every morning I get up, I listen to something inspirational. Every morning I read. Every night I read. Every afternoon I read. Every day I'm looking to get information that inspires me. Ideas, concepts, motivation, spiritual stuff, personal development stuff. I'm around this stuff all the time because guess what? When I leave out of my controlled environment, I go into the world where there's nothing but negativity. I go into the world where everybody's telling me what I can't do. I'm going to a world people saying it don't take all that. I'm going into the world where you send somebody the app to download and you notice they didn't never download it and they say they're gonna download it. That takes a toll on you at some point. So you have to build up on the inside with enough inspiration that you can always stay positive. Happiness and positivity, it comes from within and it's your responsibility. You cannot put the burden of your happiness on somebody else. That is your responsibility. And one of the things you can do is always keep yourself around inspirational stuff. That is so, so, so very important, all right? You have not embraced enough risk. You're playing it safe. It's a problem. You're playing it safe. You can't win playing it safe. You know, anybody watch football? Team is up by 10 points, and now they're playing. I don't know what they call the defense, but they're playing a defense where they're just trying to let them not score, and all the team is doing is driving up the field, They change the whole thing. You're playing it safe. You can't win playing it safe. You can't. You have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do in order to get things that most people don't have. Simple as that. It's tough. And the older you get, the less likely you're able to take those risks. If there's people out here that are younger, that don't have families, don't have a lot of responsibility, now is the time. Take the risk. That's my testimony. When I was a young man, I took all the risks. I failed so many times. Anybody knows me? How many times? I kept going. But guess what? I took the risk. And I'm willing to take the risk because I don't want what everybody else has. In order to get what everybody don't have, I got to be willing to do what everybody's not willing to do. And that is taking risks. The other thing is nobody knows who you are and nobody knows what you do. How are you going to be successful when nobody don't even know you and they don't even know what you do? You got a product, you got something amazing, but you're not talking to nobody. You're not sharing it with nobody. You're not telling people that you got it. Look, anybody who knows me knows that I've been running my mouth for the last 30 years about everything. And they know me. And they know I got it. So when they want it, they come get it. When they're not ready for it, they're not ready for it. But guess what? It's not going to be my fault. There's people that, you know, something funny, right? If you're on a Telegram group, you'll see anybody and everybody in your contact that joins Telegram. And I was on Telegram a long time. I don't remember how long, but I've been on it. And that's just funny how gradually people are actually joining Telegram that's in your contact list. I said, I wonder if that's going to be the same thing with Punk Panda. I'm telling these people about Punk Panda now, right? And I wonder 2 years from now, they're going to finally get on Punk Panda. You're going to just see the people finally get on Punk Panda, even though you told them to get on it from day one. That's just what it is. But it's not my fault. I told them. The worst part is When you don't tell somebody about Punk Panda, and then they find out about it 6 months from now, and they get a big organization, it could have been yours just because you didn't share the contact. You didn't share it with them. Let people know who you are, you know? Let people know what you do, all right? Last few, you're being busy without being productive. That's a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people want to make it seem like they're busy, like they got a lot going on. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're painting their house, they're doing this, they're doing that. But guess what? They're not being productive, all right? This is a zero-sums game. Either you're successful or you're not, one way or the other. What do you want? You want it or you don't. If you do, let's get it. If you don't, do something else. But be productive, not just be busy, all right? And the last one I'll leave you with is you are scared of success and the process. I'll say it again. Some people are just scared of success and the process that it takes to be successful, all right? I gave a quote in a meeting earlier that there's two pains that we must experience in life. Notice I said must. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons, all right? And that's important. Some people are scared of that. Some people are scared to discipline themselves. I'll give you a quick story. I started my business, my path to business when I was 14, probably 13, I'm not sure, but officially when I was 15 years old. I started a barbershop. 15-year-old in a barbershop, no customers, barely got clientele. Middle of the summer, all my friends riding dirt bikes, going to movies, playing basketball, open gym, football, playing sports. I was a big sports guy, didn't get a chance to do none of that. I decided to work. That was my discipline. It was tough to sit in the barbershop with no air conditioner and not cut no hair, but just be there. But guess what? You saw my car or my bike, whatever I had outside every single day, every day until I built one of the biggest, the best businesses in the city. But I started at 15. And by the time I retired from that, I retired at like 30, 33. Like I did 15 years, I was probably one of the better ones in the city, if not the state. And it got to the point where if you wanted to know where I was at, you knew exactly where I was at all day, every day, because that was what I was committed. I'd sacrificed my childhood basically for that. And because of that, the blessings, the offerings, and everything that I got in my life now comes from that discipline, not from them. Some people are scared of that. Some people are scared to not be able to watch their favorite TV show or not to. I didn't go to any of my son's baseball games growing up. But guess what? Once I retired, I was able to coach his teams. I was able to go travel with him to Texas, to Florida, to Orlando, to all these places on his football teams and baseball teams and his basketball teams. Because I sacrificed the small part of his childhood so that once he turned 12, I was able to do whatever I was with him every day. So that's what I'm saying. So the process is a sacrifice, but guess what? It's worth it. So with that being said, I will leave you guys with that. And I will open it up for questions. My guy, Mr. Live, got his hands up. I don't know if he has a comment or a question, but we're going to open it up. And I'm going to ask him to unmute himself. Oh, he's already unmuted. So you got your question, sir. Let's go. Your name is Paul, by the way, or what's your name?
Peter.
Peter. I remember Marcus said it. I call you Mr. Live. Thank you for letting me see what you look like. Let me see this guy with all the good questions. All right, I got you now. Let's go. What you got?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, TW, for those words. You know, I just wanted to echo on a few things. Sorry, I was losing my voice. Been talking all day to people about this. One thing that's really important is that if you're not desperate, feel like you're desperate. Because when you get to that point where you feel like you're desperate, that's when the success is going to come. You could have $200,000 in the bank, but if you don't feel desperate, then you're not going to get to that point where you need to be. So you got to say, okay, well, I have nothing to lose. This is what I'm going to do. I believe in this project. I believe in Punk Panda. This is where I want to be. You got to get and step outside of your comfort zone, and you need to start living the way you don't on a daily basis. By doing so, that's going to enable you to do things that you haven't already done before, and to tap into a part of your brain that you didn't even know existed. And once you do that, you're going to start to realize that you can do it. And then you're going to bring other people along. You're going to say, hey, come join me because I figured out how to do it. And then you're going to teach other people how to do it. And then those people are going to look up to you how to do it. And then you become the expert. And then when you become the expert, that's when you can tell other people how to become the expert, because you can have that process developed and show them what to do. And TW, what you said is so true about having that one thing that makes you unique. Right, with me, it's Mr. Live is because I do Facebook Lives. I do Facebook Lives on a daily basis. And I educate people with free value, and I bring them opportunities that, according to my standards, are vetted enough to talk about. And so I communicate it in a professional way so that people understand it and not overhype it in any way, shape, or form. And that's what sets me apart from a lot of the other people that are out there. So what he said is very true. Everyone needs to find their one quality that sets them apart from everyone else. Once you do that, that's going to be your path to I can do this instead of I can't do this. So I just wanted to echo on what you were saying. Great words of wisdom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that have that's in there that has a question? If not, we can end this now. And I think we've done good as far as time. I don't like to hold people too late on Sundays because, again, it's the day that people have to relax. But I appreciate everyone coming out. And I hope that you guys saw the presentation, got something new out of it, got some value out of the message. And if nothing else, then we can end this call. I'm going to end the recording now, and then we can